The introduction opening scene inside of the car was originally going to be slightly longer. Thanks to this YouTube video, which dug up the animations from the game's files, we can see how Tommy would have been sat inside of Ken Rosenberg's car while they discussed what had just happened outside of the lawyer's office. Unfortunately, in the game files, the audio isn't present, but it's still interesting to look at. Ken Rosenberg's Admiral is actually more detailed in the airport pickup scene than in usual gameplay. With a slightly boxier body, a detailed tan interior rather than the standard generic grey one, and a different rim design from Grand Theft Auto 3. But after the opening cutscene, it returns back to normal. However, it does have a unique white colour that's unobtainable anywhere else in the game. Now, in the game files, a slightly altered dialogue exists which reveals that Vic and Lance own a farm in Panama, and you can see the dialogue here on screen of what he would have said. The interior of Marco Bistro in An Old Friend is actually located inside the Ocean View Hotel. You can use a free cam to go through the wall and you can see the cutscene all taking place close by. That's because obviously the game had to store it in the memory somewhere close, so yeah, they decided to store it inside of the hotel. If you pick up Mercedes in the mission The Party in a car, she will ask Tommy if it's okay to rest her hand on his lap, which you've probably heard that dialogue many times. But if you pick her up on a motorcycle, she doesn't say it, which is a really cool attention to detail. If the player fails the mission Back Alley Brawl by destroying the infamous before Lance gets inside, Lance will actually remain in the area as an NPC, unlike other instances of the game where if you fail the mission they will disappear. He will then begin to attack you with a pistol and you can kill him with no consequences. Now, the song I Melt With You by Modern English is heard in the background of the cutscene that plays after you take out Leo. Now, this song isn't featured on any radio stations in the game and cannot be heard anywhere else in Vice City.
Oh, way to go, tough guy. Beat him to a pulp. That should make him real chatty. You want some too?
So I guess at some point Rockstar had this song licensed? I don't know, but it's a pretty cool Easter egg. In the mission Jury Fury, a Spanned Express tool van will appear and crash. Now this tool van is quite rare and doesn't spawn anywhere else in the game in the traffic and can only be found in this mission and, funnily enough, the next mission, Riot, where again you have to enter the compound and blow up the vans. But these vehicles don't spawn anywhere else in the game. In the mission 4 Iron, it's actually possible to snipe the target from outside the club, skipping a majority of the mission entirely. As soon as you've entered the mission marker, that will then spawn the target. You can then stand by this fence using a sniper rifle and take him out, just as you can see him there in the render distance if you look closely. The time given to the player to install the bombs in Demolition Man was actually increased from 7 minutes as it is in the PC version to 7 minutes and 30 seconds in the mobile version of the game, possibly due to the fact that this mission is extremely difficult, and playing it on mobile only made it even harder. In Treacherous Swine, Tommy is given a chainsaw in the cutscene. If you replace this chainsaw with another melee weapon, you will be given a chainsaw again. In Mall Shootout, the Frenchman's name is never revealed in-game, but thanks to Vice City's official Flash website, it revealed that his name is Pierre Leponce, or shall we say Pierre the Ponce. Ponce is outdated British slang that's often associated with someone who's posh. And the French GIGN officers, which ambush this meeting, have their own unique skin, which is completely distinguishable from the regular SWAT models that are seen in the Wanted levels, and these are only used in a handful of missions. In Guardian Angels, Diaz's Admiral is bulletproof, fireproof, and even explosion-proof. It also has a unique shade of light grey, which you cannot obtain anywhere else, and you can obtain this vehicle extremely easily by simply failing the mission and then storing it in a garage. This mission was also heavily censored from its original version in subsequent releases due to the original lines of dialogue mentioning the Haitians.
Don't just stand there, you pricks! Chase that Haitian dickhead down! Don't just stand there, you pricks! Chase that dickhead down!
During the mission The Chase, if you beat the target to the buggy, you can actually drive the buggy yourself. The enemy is essentially going to try and carjack you, but if you park against this fence or this wall, you can accelerate just as he gets into the vehicle, which will actually prevent him from carjacking you, and you can then drive all the way to the objective with him as a passenger, skipping the chase scene entirely. This is actually a strategy widely used in the speedrunning community.
So Quentin here. Quentin! They'll fly you over the area. Eradicate them!
Despite not being visible until Diaz calls him over in the cutscene, you can actually see Lance is fully animated during the part of the intro cutscene where Diaz is talking to Tommy, and he also reacts to when Diaz throws the plant pot. Now, in the mission The Fastest Boat, it's actually possible to enter the boat without having to lower it into the water. So in the original version of the mission, you have to access this marker and lower the boat. But the thing is about boats in the 3D GTA games is there's no animation to get into them. So if you're standing outside of a boat and you enter or hit the enter button, you will be instantly teleported into the driver's seat. Now, there is a small radius in which the game detects if you're within that zone that this can happen, and it just so happens that the boat is hovering there in this mission within that radius, so standing in this spot you can just teleport instantly into the driver's seat. The Desert Eagle is an unattainable weapon that was meant to be in the game in the beta but never made it actually to the final game.
Bro, you! It is my favorite El Burro movie, it's that.
Now, in this, Diaz mentions El Burro during the opening cutscene, and El Burro was an unseen character in GTA 3. And funnily enough, this mission features a completely cut cutscene which can be found in the game files. We're not sure why this cutscene was removed from the game, but it's actually really cool, and it's a shame it never made it.
That's the last of them. I'm gonna start her up. I think we got some new friends.
In Sir Yes Sir, despite Cortez telling Tommy to call him immediately after getting the tank, Tommy never actually does this. Now, the self-destruct security protocol Delta India Echo when you enter the tank obviously humorously spells out die, but if you let the counter timer go right down to 0, the security protocol tells the player prepare to die, communist scum.
Vehicle self-destruct initiated. Prepare to die, communist scum.
In GTA 3, during the Donald Love mission Waka Gashira Wipeout, Donald Love states that nothing drives down real estate prices like a good old-fashioned gang war. And interestingly, 2-Bit Hit in GTA Vice City is a mission for Avery Carrington, but in the passenger seat you can see Donald Love. And Avery says in this mission,
"Now nothing brings down real estate prices quicker than a good old-fashioned gang war. Except maybe a disaster like a biblical plague or something, but that may be going too far in this case. You getting this down, you four-eyed prick?"
Now, GTA Vice City takes place before GTA 3, and he's asking Donald Love in this mission whether he's taking notes, which of course he is, because he remembered this exact quote and repeated it to Claude much later on in GTA 3.
Nothing drives down real estate prices like a good old-fashioned gang war.
Now, the Romero's hearse in this mission is only obtainable here without cheat codes. And I actually thought that the Romero's hearse would spawn somewhere on the map in Vice City, but apparently it doesn't, and I've tried to look myself. So this is the only mission you can obtain this vehicle. And not only this, but this is also the only mission you can obtain the really rare Black Voodoo. It's a variant of the original Voodoo, which usually spawns in an orangey brown colour, but obviously due to the funeral, this one is a special black. The song that can be heard playing in the background during the opening cutscene of Death Row is All Night Long by Mary Jane Girls. The song isn't actually usually played inside the Malibu Club. And at the end of this mission, Tommy refers to Starfish Island as Star Island, which apparently is the beta name for Starfish Island.
Get patched up and meet me on the bridge to Star Island, okay?
Okay, I got you.
In All Hands on Deck, if you have no weapons equipped before you start the mission, you will be given body armor, a katana, and a submachine gun. At the end of the mission, Cortez's speeder is shown as having a red primary color, but when it's dropped in the sea and given to Tommy, it's actually white. Rob Out is one of the only 2 missions in the game, besides the job where you rob the bank, to have a reward payout higher than the final mission, which is $50,000. Now, originally Lance was supposed to talk to Tommy about taking over Diaz's empire after the 2 killed Diaz. Now, this speech is unused in the game, but it does remain in the game files. The audio is actually called arse_2.mp3 in the game files.
Tommy, man, we did it! We're in charge of this place now. We can take over. You and me. Vance and Vassetti, the 2 V's. I like that. Let's! Go on, Tommy. I'll be okay. Hey, this is a real nice herbaceous border. Hey, Tommy, can my room have a view of the bay? Beautiful high ceilings in here.
Did you know that Shakedown features a unique weather state? The weather is cloudy, but with more clouds than usual, giving the city a much darker appearance. Usually when this mission has concluded, Tommy will receive a call from Avery Carrington explaining how businesses and assets work. This is the mission that unlocks the ability to purchase assets across Vice City. However, in the beta, this was originally going to be Ken Rosenberg who called you in order to explain it, and the audio again can be found in the game files.
Hey, Tommy, I thought you might need some business advice. Once you got the operation up and running, you'll need to drop by and take the week's cash. Let the guys think they got the run of the place, and they'll be shaving the profits, okay?
I know how to handle business, Ken, okay?
Okay, I know, I was just, telling you I know that, I know, just keeping it sharp, baby. Keeping it sharp, oh yeah.
Whatever, Ken, whatever.
If you equip a machine gun before triggering the mission stunt boat challenge, it can then be used to kill Rico when they get out of the boat. A little into this mission, you'll encounter a stunt ramp in the water near the golf course. And if you manage to land or flatten on some of the golfers, you'll actually be prompted with a $100 bonus. All dialogues and mission text referring to the Haitians in the cutscene for cannon fodder were completely changed following the Haitian controversy we mentioned a few times already.
My son, what happened?
The Haitians. I hate these Haitians. They messed with me for the last time. Take my boys over there, and then we'll take these Haitians down. When they mess with me, they mess with the biggest boy in town. Un gran problema. They mess with me. They messed with me for the last time.
What is your problem?
We'll take them out. Only we need some backup.
Now, the stinger used as a barricade in this mission cannot be obtained. It will explode instantly if you even try and get inside of it. The song that can be heard in the background during the opening cutscene is Compe Gatto, and this song isn't featured again in any of the game's radio stations. There's a glitch in Bombs Away where right after the cutscene before controlling the RC plane, it's possible to get out, and allowing you to drive to the place and destroy the vehicles using firearms to pass the mission a lot easier than using the remote control plane to drop bombs. The enemies also won't actually attack you if this happens. Did you know that the mission Dirty Lickins is actually completely cut from the German version of the game, along with the mission Messing with the Man for Mitch Baker and the Biker Gang? The mission Trojan Voodoo is actually really interesting. The song that can be heard playing in the background during the opening cutscene is Campesino by Lost Super 7, the same band for the song that we mentioned a minute ago. And this song was released in 2001.
Loser.
Hey, baby! I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole!
The game is set in 1986, so this song isn't obviously featured on any in-game radio stations, but what the hell were Rockstar thinking? If the player drives a one-seated vehicle like a pizza boy into the objective marker in the mission Love Juice, where you have to pick up Mercedes, she won't actually be able to enter the vehicle, obviously. But as a result of this, the game will completely softlock. That's because the next cutscene, or to give the player control, was supposed to happen once the game registers that Mercedes is inside of your vehicle. In the original PlayStation 2 version of the game, the window where the crazy psycho is in the mission Psycho Killer actually has a poster of Iron Maiden's mascot Eddie on it, which was then removed in later versions due to copyright. But the Psycho character was originally intended to appear without the groupie disguise after Publicity Tour, and according to the mission script files in the game, This would be a mission called The Concert, so that was a cut mission from the game. However, the character model mentioned in the script is actually just a cab driver. Now, the mission took place immediately after the mission publicity tour, so completing publicity tour would automatically start this mission. And it would be the crazy psycho killer outside the concert hall that then tries to attack Tommy and the band, and you're left to then take him out. So, which you're seeing in the background here, and shout out to this YouTube creator for posting it. Even if Tommy is wearing the cop outfit when starting Alloy Wheels of Steel, he is able to trigger the mission, and amusingly, Mitch Baker will still tell him that he doesn't look like the law.
City. You don't look like the law, so that's bought you a minute.
During the mission Messing with the Man, when Mitch says this whole damn country, if you look closely, you can actually notice there is a pedestrian's head on the floor. Now, this head is actually a waitress model, which was intended to be in the game, that was then later replaced with a male model by the looks of it, and it's now halfway stuck through the ground. But anyway, it's a development mistake that's gone unnoticed. Originally, there was actually meant to be an additional mission for the Interglobal Film Studios. This mission's phone call can be heard where Steve explains to Tommy how they need a car chase scene, but they don't have the budget to do it. So therefore, Tommy would likely have to create a distraction with the cops and cause a police chase so that the movie studio could film it.
Tommy, look, I need to ask you a favor.
Steve, how's filming going?
Oh, it's going fine, yeah. We need a car chase scene, and, well, the budget can't really stretch to it, so, I've left some wheels at the airport. You know what to do, huh?
Okay, Steve, I'll keep an eye out. Catch you later.
The song that can be heard playing in the background of No Escape during the opening cutscene doesn't normally play inside the Malibu Club in normal gameplay. This is also the only mission where police officers are given Uzis instead of regular firearms, and Cam's textures and models in the game files are named Mike, which suggests that Cam's original name was obviously going to be Mike. Hillary from the Driver mission for the Malibu Club, his surname is actually King. Hillary King. Now, this was actually never confirmed in game or in the files, and his full name is never mentioned in Vice City, but this was actually revealed in his VCPD crime tree record as part of the game's official marketing on the game's official Flash site way back in 2002, which is really, really cool. If you run out onto the street in the robbery outfit during the mission The Job, after you're instructed to go inside the bank, you'll actually fail the mission with a message for giving away what you were doing. And did you know that Cam can actually die in this mission and you won't fail? In fact, it's actually written into the game as part of a dynamic event that can happen. Now, if Cam is killed inside the bank, he will drop a briefcase which you're then instructed to collect. Now, during the cutscenes after the mission takes place, Tommy and Phil exit the bank, and after they get to Cam's house, there are some additional lines of dialogue about Cam's death. If Cam dies, the game's script will indicate that Tommy and Phil get a bigger profit from the heist. However, the reward will remain the same. The song that can be heard playing in the background of Boomshine Saigon is Burning For You by Blue Oyster Cult. Now, this song, again, like many others we've discussed in today's video, doesn't appear on any in-game radio stations. And during this cutscene, there's another mistake. Phil blows off his right arm.
Oh, damn!
However, it shows him with it intact and his left arm missing when he's dropped off at the doctor's office.
Tommy, the wound is healing well. Funny thing is, I have fought in 6 battle zones and always walked away without a scratch. And now this. One-armed Phil. Still, I got me a healthy selection of one-handed firepower, so I'll never be unarmed Phil. You hear? Anyway, son, cut out the sentimental crap and go buy yourself a drink. You hear?
If you follow the courier in Hit the Courier, eventually you'll be led to a strange doorway which opens up, letting some enemy AIs out of it. You can actually go inside of this secret little room and discover that you can find a printer that is very similar to what you can find in the Printworks. In Cap the Collector, the Forelli members have the same model as Harry and Lee, the 2 guys that were in the introduction mission and were shot and killed at the beginning of the game. Originally in this mission, Tommy was actually going to receive a pager message, which you can see here. Did you know that Tommy must have at least $1,000 to start the mission Keep Your Friends Close? Attempting to start the mission otherwise will result in an error message, as you can see here. Sonny's right-hand man, also known as the Forelli Capo, appears in the opening cutscene of Keep Your Friends Close, but what becomes of him afterwards is unknown. And according to the files of the Definitive Edition, which gave us a huge insight into some of the early development notes of Vice City, Lance Vance originally may not have been intended to betray Tommy at all.